Hello, Modern World History students. I would like you to take a look at this picture. What do you see? What's going on here? What you're seeing here are factories releasing smoke into the atmosphere. And what you're looking at is really pollution being released into the air that we breathe. This was one of the most negative effects of the Industrial Revolution, which is still being felt today. How many times do you turn on the news or the radio and you hear someone talking about the harmful effects of climate change or global warming? Well, this is where you can trace it to. The roots of it began with industrialism, with the Industrial Revolution. And this is a problem we are still struggling with today. So today's lesson, it's on the effects of the Industrial Revolution. And by effects, it's not necessarily all bad. You're going to look at the pros and the cons, or the positives and the negatives that came out of the Industrial Revolution. So as always, you're going to, in the Explore section, you're going to do a read, a watch, and a do. To get an overview of the pros and cons of the Industrial Revolution, you're going to read this article by Encyclopedia Britannica. It's The Rise of the Machines, Pros and Cons, right there, of the Industrial Revolution. So do a good job reading this, and you're going to take notes on it with the do, because in the do column, you're going to complete a T-chart. A T-chart is simply just, if you would draw a T, it's just a two-column chart, okay, that lists the pros and the cons of the Industrial Revolution. Okay, so what's the T-chart look like? Right here, I just added one in. For those of you that don't know, it's simply, why they call it a T-chart, it's just shaped like a T. So you could put pros on this side, cons on this side, and then just list all the pros that came out of the Industrial Revolution, and then the cons, or the negatives, that came out of it. And there's also this video that I would like you to watch, and it's actually really cool. It's a rap video that summarizes the Industrial Revolution. It's called Flowcabulary, and it comes from the Summit Learning platform. That's where I found it. And it discusses the changes in labor, so that's the workers, and living conditions as a result of the Industrial Revolution. So that would be really good for you to watch and entertaining. So then here, in a couple sentences to a paragraph, what were the effects of the Industrial Revolution? So you can answer it right there. Then you're going to take this brief quiz on Quizlet to assess what you've learned about the effects. There's only 6 questions, so that's pretty simple. And then hopefully this lesson of mine helps you to more fully understand the Summit checkpoint. And so the knowledge that you gain in this lesson, you're going to put toward answering the checkpoint. What were the effects of the Industrial Revolution on the environment and countries outside of Europe? And I'll get to that in a second. And then you're going to want to just do the self-assessment as always. You select one of these and then answer this question here. So going back to the Summit checkpoint. So let's go and see where we're at currently right now. So we're on Industrial Revolution, the story of a product. Shrink this size down here a little bit. Okay. So we've already done checkpoints 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are on 5. Notice the checkpoint is actually called "What were the effects of the Industrial Revolution on the environment and countries outside of Europe?" So that's why I focused on the effects of the revolution in my lesson to help you with this. So this kind of follows the same format as always. There is a document set and there's a graphic organizer. So go ahead. Look at this. Okay. Read each document and then see these highlighting directions. And then you could also complete the graphic organizer along with this. So the question is, what were the effects of the Industrial Revolution on the environment in countries outside of Europe? So you're going to highlight the positive effects of the Industrial Revolution in yellow, highlight the negatives with blue, and then you take notes on each document. So that is what you are doing here. I'll let you, and take your time with these. These aren't, these are historical documents that I know can be challenging to read. And sometimes you have to go back and you're going to say, what did I just read? You're going to look at the definitions and, go back and try to put it in your own words. And something I wanted to point out here, this is a poem by William Wordsworth in 1814. But what's nice is they summarize it here. So this may be a little hard for you to interpret, but then here they summarize it. So I just thought that was good, and I wanted to point that out to you. Okay. So there's a graphic organizer that goes along with that. They also have something that I want you to read about Guidelines for Socratic Seminar. Why? Because that is something we are going to be doing as your final product, which we're getting closer to. We're 2 or 3 weeks away from. So use that as sort of an introduction to it, and then I will go over this more fully with you. But it's just a short description of a Socratic discussion, what it includes, and that's something we're going to be doing here for one of your final products. So, okay. So that is what you are working on this week. Every week you have 2 checkpoints. You have my lesson and a summit checkpoint. So if you have any questions as you're working on this, you know where to find me. Have a great week.